Hello, in this episode I'd like to talk about Patrick Lencioni's conflict continuum. And this is a model he developed when writing his book about the 5 dysfunctions of a team. Now the first dysfunction is actually a lack of trust. So it's really important that teams have trust where people can be open and vulnerable and trust one another completely. And then the second dysfunction is actually a lack of conflict. And in order to go into more detail about that, he developed this conflict continuum. And it goes from being in mean-spirited attacks, which are destructive, all the way over into constructive and ultimately into artificial harmony, where numbers of issues aren't actually addressed because people are being artificially harmonious with one another. They're being nice rather than feeling uncomfortable or making others feel uncomfortable by actually discussing the difficult issues. And teams that suffer from artificial harmony don't make effective decisions because the difficult issues aren't being addressed. People moan and groan outside of the room and not often not address the issues that need to be addressed with the very people that they need to be addressed with. So he says that the ideal spot on this continuum, the ideal conflict point, is just inside constructive, which when I first heard it was a bit of a surprise because it means that you may go over the line and fall a bit into destructive. However, he said that that's okay if you acknowledge it, call it out, and apologize. So both people can then say, right, what is it that you need? How do I take care not to cross the line? And be aware of different people's preferences and the focus of what they need rather than what you think they need. So it's important to distinguish task versus personal, so that the focus of the conflict stays on the task rather than getting personal, and that you create psychological safety so people can be vulnerable and open and honest with another, knowing they're not going to be taken advantage of, and understand others' preferences. So how much frankness do they want? How direct do they like to be spoken to? Or how much more diplomacy do you need to use in order to get your point across? And be aware of cultural backgrounds and even family backgrounds, where people from large families may be very used to large arguments, but people from different types of cultures may actually not be used to arguments and therefore be more quiet in meetings. So when it comes to conflict, stay curious.